international organizations, multinational unions, and an entire world of interconnected diplomacy. Today, we'll be unraveling the spy networks and diplomatic ties between nations in today's Europa Universalis V feature video. Diplomacy in EU5 is flexible. Rather than something that is related to an individual character, diplomats are more of a currency, generated over time, and represent how much diplomacy a country can engage with at the same time. How much diplomacy you can engage with will adapt over time based on the decisions you as a player make. Simply put, a country that focuses on diplomacy will be able to maintain more diplomatic bonds at the same time. A country can take diplomatic actions against any nation within diplomatic range. These actions can be friendly, like forming alliances and proposing dynastic ties through royal marriage. They can be hostile, like threatening to declare war. They could be covert, such as building a spy network or supporting rebels, or even economic, such as requesting trade rights. The diplomat cost of an action scales with what you are trying to do. Let's look at alliances, for example. An alliance with a large nation, such as France, will cost more diplomats to maintain. Conversely, a small city like Hamburg here will take a small amount of diplomats, which would give you some flexibility with those extra diplomats to engage in other diplomatic actions. There's more than just diplomatic power at play when calculating the costs of diplomacy. Nations also have trust in one another. Trust is a combination of your national values, culture and religion, your actions geopolitically, and your diplomatic reputation. A shared rivalry with a nation in common will go a long way to improving trust in a nation. A shared rivalry with a nation in common will go a long way in improving a nation's trust in you. Speaking of rivals, in EU5, if you declare a nation to be your rival, your country will have additional hostile actions, such as the ability to intervene in their wars. Another key power of diplomacy is the favor system. You can use diplomats to curry favors with a country, which you could then trade in for a favor. That could be swaying a nation to join your war, asking for money, or to even place a ruler of your dynasty on their throne. But at the end of the day, diplomacy can fail. Sometimes the option left for a country is to declare war. But declaring war without a casus belli could destabilize your nation. In EU5, you can't simply fabricate a claim on a province at the expense of a few diplomats. Early on, you'll need to gain claims through the backing of your parliament and the prepare for war action. However, there are other CBs that you can fabricate with a high enough spy network. But early on, they're not as potent for conquest purposes. As you progress through the ages, new claims and forms of conquest will become available to you. Another form of early claims come for those pertaining to international organizations. International organizations include everything from the Catholic Church to the personal unions held by your ruler. International organizations will often have their own laws as well as special mechanics related to them. Here we can see the Holy Roman Empire has over 300 member states in the organization at the start of the game. The empire then has a series of imperial laws that can be enacted, a parliament that can be called, as well as various special defensive pacts to those outside the organization. Likewise, the Catholic Church has almost 500 member states at the start of the game. Also, they have their own doctrinal laws, special interactions like papal bulls, and the ability to even canonize saints. A fairly common international organization that you might interact with as a player is the personal union. A personal union in EU5 forms when two or more independent nations share the same ruler. Members of a union will often start with a shared balance of power, known as an integration level, which can be shifted through union policies. Union policies are a shared system of laws that are designed to slowly integrate nations and cover everything from codified inheritance to mutual offensives. Union laws aren't an instant change either. The union will often need to exist for a long period of time, and then the law will then need to be voted on to take effect. However, completing many of these laws will lead to a very strong alliance or even the formation of a singular nation. Will you bring peace to your new empire, or will you use your diplomatic power to subjugate your enemies? Will you build strong familial bonds and unite crowns, or will you secure safety in numbers? At the end of the day, the choice is yours. You can pre-order your copy of EU5 today, and for more insight on diplomacy, check out the developer diary linked in the description below.